Chapter 24. Not all education happens in a classroom. I learned a new skill Tuesday morning on the way to school when Wesley pulled into the parking lot behind the YCMA. "Why'd you stop?" I asked. "Need gas." He hopped out of the car, then looked back at me and said, "Tap the horn if you see anyone coming." What? But by then he'd popped the trunk and pulled out a gas can along with a couple feet of plastic tubing. I knew enough about the laws of physics to guess what was going to happen next. Visions of jail danced in my head as I watched him stroll over to a car, open the door, release the gas cap, and start siphoning. Then he came back and poured the gas into his tank. "I can give you gas money," I said when he finally slipped back behind the wheel. Wesley shrugged. "Why?" "So you can buy gas," I said. "Don't need to." I spent the rest of the trip trying to think of a counter-argument. Nothing came to mind. Wednesday, I had another near-death experience. Perry Dunlop, who's one of the seniors on the football team, cornered me on the way out of school. I figured he was going to pound me and then take his chances with Wesley. He swung his right hand at me. I flinched. But my head stayed connected to my neck. He didn't hit me. He just gave me a friendly slap on the shoulder. Of course, his idea of a friendly slap was enough to nearly lift me off the ground. "Your article is pretty funny, dude," he said. "Nachos, that's classic." Thanks. I realized Perry was on the defensive line, so he liked the joke about the offensive line. Maybe most people don't mind getting kidded as long as they aren't being singled out. "It's really just Vernon and a couple of his friends who want to kill you," Perry said. That's a relief. I felt so much better. February 1st. Another month has passed into history. Mom had some kind of ultrasound test the other day. Apparently you have a head, hands, feet, and a working heart. And other stuff. Congratulations, you're a guy. I woke up Monday morning to any student's favorite sound. The silence of a world blanketed by a major snowfall. No school today. I planned to hang out in my room and read. But around noon, I heard the drone of a small gas engine. Next thing I knew, a snowmobile cut across our yard. When I got to the door, I saw Wesley shouting for me to come out. "Is that yours?" I asked. The snowmobile looked brand new. "Borrowed it," he said. "Get on." I thought about the way he drove a car. But at least if we crashed the snowmobile, there'd be something soft to cushion the blow. We rode around for an hour, about half of which we spent in the air. Then he dropped me off. "Thanks," I said. "If the town ever floods, I can borrow a jet ski," he said. Then he took off. Mom was in the kitchen looking out the window. "You should have invited your friend in. I made cocoa with little marshmallows." Maybe next time. Wesley didn't strike me as the little marshmallow type. Dad had gone to work. One of the mechanics had four-wheel drive. I grabbed a shovel and started clearing the driveway. The snow was pretty light. Last year I remember really struggling. This year I was able to load up the shovel. Right after I started, Bobby came out and joined me. "You heard it's a boy?" he asked. "Yeah. You think Mom wanted a girl?" "Nah." Bobby stuck his shovel in a snowbank. "Why would she? She already has you." I waited until he turned his back, then nailed him in the side with a snowball. Ouch. Okay, maybe you don't throw like a girl. A moment later, he whacked me with a whole shovelful of snow. "I win," he said. I decided a truce would be smart, so I turned my attention to the driveway. Unfortunately, the road crews turned their attention to the streets around us, so I only got one day off. On Tuesday, I noticed that Julia and Kelly were friends again. They acted like nothing had happened. I think girls fight differently than guys. I know I've never seen one girl knock another out in the parking lot. Maybe girls fight like brothers. No matter what happens between me and Bobby, we never stay angry for long. When I got home, I found an email from Patrick. His dad was being transferred again. He'd actually sent it a week ago, but I hadn't been online for a while. I got all excited for a second, figuring he was coming back here, or at least somewhere closer than Texas. Then I read the rest. They were moving to Japan. That really sucked. I figured at least I could try to visit Patrick this summer. Texas has some of the best largemouth bass lakes in the country. I bet I could have talked Dad into a trip, but there's no way I'll see Patrick now. There were more departures on Friday. Mr. Camber left. G'day, or as we say in Aussie French, how day you say. Mr. Cravuto was subbing until they could find a new teacher. He didn't know any Spanish at all except some numbers. Halfway through class, we took a break to do push-ups, but we got to count in Spanish. Lee was talking to me again. I guess she'd gotten over my stupid comment, but she looked depressed. I mean, she always looked down. It was hard not to when you dress mostly in black, but she looked really down right now. Something wrong? I asked her. It's winter, she said. It's been winter for a while, I said. That's the problem. Hang in there, I told her. It'll be over soon enough. But it'll come back. I couldn't argue with that, but I hated to see her looking so down. Hey, you need to have a little fun. You should go to the dance on Friday. As I spoke, I realized she might think I was inviting her. That would be awkward. My mind raced in search of some way to make it clear that I wasn't asking her to go with me. But I didn't have to worry. Lee actually snorted as she walked away. I tried to imagine her dancing in the school gym amid the paper streamers and balloons. All I could see were balloons popping when they got close to her face. When we were driving home from school, Wesley spotted Mandy ahead of us in the sidewalk. He said, look at her. He slowed down as we drove past. I was afraid he was going to shout something crude, but he didn't. As much as I know he's always within an inch of doing something dangerous, I get the funny feeling that he has a set of rules he lives by. It's just that they aren't rules that I've ever learned. Right before Wesley dropped me off, he asked, what was the book with my name in it? It took me a second to remember what he was talking about. The Princess Bride, I told him. Want to borrow my copy? He shrugged. Sure. I ran in and got it for him. It felt good to return the favor. I mean, he'd been giving me rides and saving my life and all that, not to mention teaching me useful skills like stealing gas. After he drove off, I started to worry. It's a great book, but it's complicated. I wondered whether giving it to him was the same as showing off. I'd hate to have Wesley decide to make me eat my words, or William Goldman's words, page by tasty page. To help keep my mind off that image, I tried making a list of Wesley's rules. Wesley's rules of life. Number 1, it's all mine. Number 2, if I like you, I'll share, but it's still all mine. Number 3, nothing can hurt me. Number 4, I can hurt you. Number 5, all rules are subject to change without notice. February 13th. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day. From what I see, they don't make a big deal of it in high school. That's good, because the whole thing with cards and flowers and all can drive home just how pathetic your social life is. Here's an interesting thought. I realized I can write anything I want in here. I have complete freedom. Nobody's grading this. Nobody but you will ever see it. I can even write... Okay, I chickened out and crossed that one off, just in case. But it felt kind of nice to write it.